for what could happen in that bot lane.
Looks like it's going to be the rel that we thought was going to come through, so having a nice primary engager with the Wukong
Split
follow.
2, he was maybe the best part of this Weibo roster, but frequently some of the reasons why they're getting caught out, and maybe he finds himself in a little bit of trouble. And in split number 3, it's not really been anything great. As Light now chunked out. So I'm going to heal from Crisp and an attempt to defend this bot side.
Oh boy, we have a level 1 Fiesta going on. The problem is, Xiaohu's not really able to get into this fight. On is at half HP. Now Xiaohu's going to throw some rocks at Knight, but this blue buff is going to be slightly delayed. Tien will instead adjust and go to the Gromp.
Okay, Bin is now walking up level 1 at Breathe, has E start, so can look quite aggressively on this Ambessa.
Goodness me. Tien set up for a dive here.
Hello.
He's going to cancel On's back using the pillar.
Xiaohu will do it using the wall.
Yep. All right. See what you got, Weibo Gaming. Can you execute this? Double knockup is there. Crisp has to flash out. They're going to be able to find Elk for first blood, but now Knight is in from behind. Nobody's tanking up a turret yet, though. Knight is able to only get a little bit of damage down, so really clean play from Weibo.
Honestly, a very solid performance and a very solid dive by Weibo there. They find Elk, which is the important target. He doesn't burn Flash, so he's still got that when he recognizes that there's nothing really for him to do, but he loses out on a lot of that wave. And again, we talked about the fact that for BLG, they'd spent so long swapping around and putting LG out map move them. And now Crisp even on this bot side looking to Bin.
All right, Bin forced to walk off. Everything's okay there. As Knight is going to hit the between worlds. They're going to look for Xiaohu. Is on his way. Good sidestep too. Xiaohu, his goose is cooked, man. Weaver's wall is not going to be up in time. He does not really have the mana either. Close to the turret. Yeah, he's just cooked. He's just done. He had nowhere to go. Knight just going to get a kill.
I guess it was about trying to make sure the rel didn't get an assist, and in fairness, a little bit of fire currently on this bot side. Bin looking to be the focus, but look at the minimap. On's on his way. And this probably stops them.
Comes to there. Teleport coming through. It's a good seismic shove as Bin has forced the flash away. He will be able to survive.
On Q flash there misses, means that they're not able to find an attempted trade kill
Weibo
back.
Foiled once again by BLG.
And I think that's really overzealous from Crisp. I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's ever a world where you kill Knight there, but the fact that they've gone for the play does net them a lot of time alone with this turret.
Whoa,
Take
boy,
3.
Here we go, diving again. Magnet Storm is there. Light's going to fly in. It's going to end up being a 1-for-1 when the dust settles.
And they'll be able to find this turret down on the bot side, you'd like to think, with Kraken plus Trundle plus 3 grubs as well. This will be Weibo taking first brick, taking that 1-for-1.
Crisp is here in the area trying to clear out this ward, but he's going to land a pulverize there. No seismic shove to be had, but this does force BLG off of the Dragon right now.
Shadow has PvE'd his way up to a Trinity Force, where Tian's done it the traditional jungle way of finding at least a couple of assists, ethical jungling, getting those couple of kill participation. But now BLG a little bit more reinforced, looking to start this up. There are no TPs from our top lane, so this is a 4 versus 4.
On a split off, but doesn't mean he can take a creative angle. He doesn't have Hex Flash or anything. Big
double flip.
Seismic shove. Dragon's going to be secured. Shadow once in. He's going to knock up 2, and he's going to look for a little bit more. On disrupted on the knockup, and he's going to get blown up immediately as Weibo want more. Elk is going to be able to dash up the wall. Here's the Weaver's wall, and that means big trouble for Shadow as he goes down 2. Weibo Gaming take the fight, and they're going to look for Knight next.
And they've just got that front line that's just a little bit better. Crisp is able to stand strong, and Knight dancing around here, gets hit with the pillar.
Oh, he's got good damage. He's going to flash away, but nobody's really there to help him. His ultimate's not up for 5 more seconds, and with all these rocks getting thrown in his face, he will not have a chance as Xiaohu gets his third.
Have his ulti because Weibo burned it on a prior bot dive, and all of those things just add up a little bit too much.
Here we go, another pick, and On just gets removed from his side of the map. A seismic shove, a headbutt.
That's more reminiscent.
And a kill over to Light as the Rip Herald.
My internet did a little bit of something funny there. Apologies to everybody if that ended up causing some problems.
Okay. Well, another seismic shove here as the Between Worlds is
gone.
What is happening? Weibo Gaming, they're just picking up kills for free.
I mean, and this is Crisp again, I want to say, having a little bit of a masterclass on the Alistair, just finding people, knocking them into danger and killing them pretty much without any confusion. Xiaohu's been along for the ride as well, 100% kill participation for the mid laner of Weibo Gaming. Quite rightly getting this 15-minute MVP award that, I mean,
my goodness.
Find Shadow on the top side. Has he got wall? Can't chase him down. Back into being this really close fight, or where Weibo starts to run away with it.
Yeah, and if you're BLG and the fight doesn't look good, just let it go, because you do have these late game carries that you can rely on. Park the bus a little bit, because you do have, again, those first 2 dragons. It's okay. You've bought yourself an extra 10 minutes of gameplay at worst. We are going to see Rift Herald and Teleport getting used in the mid lane here, as Weibo really investing into taking down this dragon.
Yeah, I was going to say, this all just says, we want this dragon. If they wanted to, they could stand, they could look for the tier 1 turret. See Shadow took away the Raptors, might have looked taken away the Smokes as well, but
post spellbook, sometimes it means that, hey, you really can't go for that Hex Slash. And that means this engage is going to be a little bit harder, because this Otacon is getting burnt down below 7,000 HP. We'll see if BLG actually want to get in there. I know that Otacon shreds a whole lot, but they won't actually be able to, as Weibo get it for free.
And Yanni, I think they want to get in there. I think the problem is that they can't. That trying to contest there is just so difficult. They have to walk through Trundle Pillar, through Talia, launching pebbles at them, through Void Seekers from the Kai'Sa as well. And the second that the jungler gets close, he gets headbutted away, and then immediately we see another ulti on the top side.
Another public execution, but the minions stayed alive. So now it's time for Bin to try to turn this around onto Breathe. Just not any damage coming out from this Gwen right now. Is Breathe looking to step on some of these honey fruits, but Bin can heal up just a little bit. Light is now showing up to the party. Shadow is here. Light ults over the wall. Might find himself in a little bit of trouble. Bin's trying to get away. Shadow going to follow up
Shadow.
on Light. Here comes On. They're going to be able to find the Kai'Sa. Now they're going to turn on to Breathe. Tien on the way. Drops the pillar to try to get Breathe out of there, but On and Shadow are sticking on him. Here comes Crisp, trying to bodyguard. Breathe will find a way out, but it is one scaling when you look at the Yunara, when you look at the Gwen, compared to just LPL Kai'Sa for Light. But On, once again, just going to get ticked off here. Again, it's the problems that he's had from Split 2 rearing their head again here.
Yeah, just I mean, a little too far forward. Where's his team? Where
50 damage.
It's a bit like Zeri almost, if people are a little bit unfamiliar with the Yunara kit. When your ulti's up, you're doing really well. As soon as that goes down.
All right, well, we're going all in on Crisp. That's the issue. And Knight has been found On trying to get a good engage on here, but Elk is free hitting, but Breathe is now on the back line, misses the public execution, and now he's caught in the middle of 5 members. They're going to be able to shut him down. BLG will force Weibo away.
And they're looking like they're heading up towards the top side here. I mean, with Kai'Sa with a Ginsu, it's not out of the realms of possibility that they can shred the Baron when it spawns, but there's 50 seconds on the timer for that. It's the tier 2 turret that they're looking for. And they might be able to get it, but they're going to lose the dragon. BLG are going to get themselves up to Soul Point, and it's an instance where Elk is free hitting in these fights, where actually the fact that Knight goes low isn't particularly important, because he uses his ulti in the middle of the fight. He puts down a ton of damage, and that is what Weibo can do with that timer that BLG spent on them doing the dragon.
The flash out has been sticking on him. A lot of big health bars for Weibo. They just need to find a way to turn the fight, give Light some purchase to be able to hit these guys. Shadow being forced away, down below half HP as Light rifles away. Breathe gets that kill, and Weibo want more. They smell blood in the water. Crisp is getting forced away. Bin able to hop over the wall and escape. But Weibo, what will they do?
They'll settle for the kill on Shadow and really care. And they're just going to net the Baron off of this. One pick, one fight that just barely goes Weibo's way. BLG has
just content to say, hey, we don't want you getting soul. You do see an exhaust down on the Knight. Crisp gets stunned, but he fights through it. Looks for more. On, gonna pull him in with a Magnet Storm as Crisp is getting lower, and Shadow got stunned on the side, and he's low, and he's dead. Light takes him out. Can Weibo find more? Public execution doesn't land, but Knight goes back to back on the Between Worlds, breaking their ankles, and now Bin looks for more. Tien is low, so is On, but Bin gets stunned and is taken down by Breathe. Light flies in, he finds On. Here comes Xiaohu looking to kill Elk. Seismic shove, but he's still alive, and he's hitting, but he's the only one alive, and he will fall. It is an ace for Weibo.
And with the Baron at their back, surely they can look to just take so many structures in the base here. Why aren't they just looking for the game, it feels like? 35 seconds on Knight, 35 seconds on Elk. You have double carries, just end the game.
Shadow is up in 7. I guess that's what they're worried about.
Yeah, fine. They'll take the Drake, they'll stop it, they'll put themselves in where they anticipated themselves being. This is the safe play by Weibo, and it keeps them very forward. You then can't look to pop them on this Aurora, which is one of her key strengths. It also means that we're not having really the HP bar to defend.
Don't allow Weibo Gaming to try to take anything for free.
Mortal Reminder built for Elk.
Uh-oh.
Knight, no ulti, no flash.
Oh, no, Knight just pushed up too far, and he's going to go down.
A criminal mistake, really, from the BLG mid laner, especially without your ultimate. You can't go for that wave, but Chris wants even more.
On has to flash up, but guess what? He's going to die soon, too. Will be able to find a way out, but again, that's another major cooldown on this Rel gone.
Yeah, a rare blunder from the BLG mid laner, one of the players who we talked about being, you know, such a linchpin. In 30 seconds time, we look at those items. Mortal Reminder finished for Elk, 3 items finished for Knight. It's not like they're weak if they find these fights. It's about getting into position to do the damage in itself.
Yahoo is going to teleport over to the mid lane here. Careful, he doesn't have a flash. He's going to see him engage on the On here. They're going to try to turn around on CN. Maybe looking for Breathe over on the side, but On just gets blown up. There's nothing that BLG can do. And now it's a 5v4. Shadow gets to the back line, but it might be too little too late. Breathe pulling the attention of multiple members on the other side. Shadow will fall with nobody around him to save him. Crisp going in, not quite landing. That pulverizes Bin, looking to take over this fight. He's all alone, but he's chopping away at Crisp like a steak knife. It's a 4v3.
Removes the front line, removes the engage from Weibo. I don't think that it's enough. Shadow's down. They've not really got any range to work with. Light just needs to land one W really and can really turn the tides of the whole thing.
Bin got slowed. Tiana's just going to try to run him down. Bin needs to try to turn this around, but survive at the same time. It's tough. You have to do two different things, and you want to do both of them, but he's going to get caught by the seismic shove and die anyway.
Xiaohu has been on point with these shoves. Secondary engage for Weibo that we didn't know that they needed.
He's had a couple of oopsies on side waves, but honestly, you know that Xiaohu has got that great pedigree, and he hasn't just shown it this year. That's the issue, but here in game 1 against BLG really showing up. Now the question is, can BLG fight back with a double cyclone there as Weibo pushed up a little too far, but they actually can't close out on any of these kills.
Breathe and Tien able to just barely stand firm between a little bit of health, a little bit of healing from the Subjugate and the Ambessa shielding on top of the Eclipse as well, able to actually get out to safety. I thought that might be a bit of a turning point. Maybe that would be the way for BLG to find their way back into the pit, but Xiaohu found some great damage onto On. He's got Spellbook TP, he's going to go back to base, try and get back into this. The Dragon is denied and BLG should just leave. This isn't a fight that they want to try to take. If they can get Shadow in for a steal, then great. They take him down, and they're not able to contribute to those fights, and he also can't be the engaged then that his team needs.
Do we think that maybe it's worthwhile for Knight to pick up a Farside alteration instead of a sweep? I mean, you know, Aurora wants those flanks, but you have to make sure that On has a clear path.
It's a tricky situation, really, because what are they looking to ward up to? They've got a very clear one-way in, one-way out situation when you're penned into your base like this. Bin hops forward.
Yeah, over the wall. Yeah, Bin said, hey, we need to do something, guys. But he quickly gets denied. Knight going to take a lot of damage himself as the siege is on. The bottom inhibitor turret will fall. Crisp once more.
Oh, that's Xiaohu's flash as well.
Might be able to get it, but yeah, that is a big flash burn on both sides. Right, the boss, they will be able to spot him out. Public execution. They get on top of Knight. Knight's got to hop over the wall, breathe, say okay. As the Weaver's wall is down now too. These are some big cooldowns worked by Weibo for nothing.
Elk has no ult. Elk has no ult though, and this Yunara now, you know, we talked about it being a bit Zeri cop-out, where if you don't have Yunara ult, if you don't have Zeri ult, you're 60% of the champion. Now without the ultimate, yeah, that's the same case for Yunara. But Weibo, they're sending members already up to it, and that slightly desync time of that 15 seconds was all they needed.
All right, we're going to see them go in on the Crisp here, but it's just not enough. He's chunked to just over 50%. On's over on the side. He has that flash available. Could be his time to make the big engage that we've been waiting for. But BLG are completely forced off. Weibo death balling around.
They don't have a way to get into the fight, though. Yes, you'll see a great fight or a great flank potentially from On. He might be able to catch Weibo off guard.
Bin isn't going to grab this wave. Knight isn't going to grab this wave. A lot of worries on the side of BLG here just because they have such a distinct lack of vision, but here we go. Crisp is going to get engaged on, taken below half HP as Elk does so much damage at this point.
Yeah, and he had no ulti, Crisp, importantly. He is now back up and available, but in that brief overlap, there was no ultimate ready.
They're just ripping
these W's from Light. They're on a
teleporting to the base. Breathe is teleporting into the base. Here we go. The fight's going to start. They're going to immediately blow up on. And Weibo looks for more. Guess who's in the base? It's Breathe. Bin is teleporting back in himself, but now it's an odd man out. Shadow's going to secure the Baron, but BLG are stuck.
Get out of there, BLG.
Stuck. He dashes to the side. He manages to find one. Shadow is in the back. He's waffling around what he wants to do. Elk is going to flash away, try to stay alive, but he gets hit with the seismic shove, and now Light gets close to Knight because of it, and they blow him up. Shadow goes over the wall, but guess who's golden? It's Light. The knockup is there. It's the damage. They do find Knight, and he flashes over the wall, but Tien is going to immediately chase after him and take him out too, as Weibo win the fight but lose the Baron.
Bin needs to desperately clear minions. This is going to be at the very minimum double inhib falling. Zhao, who has teleport to get back into the base. It's about what can Bin do in the face of 3 angry Weibo Gaming topside members. With a Baron at his back, can he hold the line for 30 more seconds? He's got On at his side as well here, but there's still so long on the carries respawning from BLG.
On does have exhaust, keep that in mind, so it will be big on either one of these targets that want to chop down these turrets. They're going to look for Breathe first, as Tien is going to continue to hit away. Here goes the first turret. It's going to fall. On goes in. Has Bin trying to get the damage that he can, but he's got to go golden. On is stuck in the pillar. Bin fades back and he heals a ton.
Flush.
He heals a ton, but he can't get any farther forward, as Xiaohu putting down the rock stuns him and allows Tien to walk. He's now in the Chicken's pit. Crisp once in, he's been stunned. Shadow goes in. Crisp getting bursted. Seismic shove there. The Shadow is so low, he's burning away, but he does have that GA. He will stay alive for right now. Has been once in 2. A lot of Weibo health bars are healthy, and there's the public execution taking the GA. Here comes the Weaver's wall as well. Big double knockup coming through as Bin is in trouble on the side. He's got to go golden. Light flies in. He's full HP as he's looking to do damage, and he gets bursted out. He's gone golden. Bin and Elk are just running the fight. Knight on the backside too. Elk pushing forward with the auto attacks, and BLG win the fight. 3 for 2 and are looking to maybe end the game.
They've got a wave in the mid lane and they've got redemption in their eyes for Unara on Elk. He lost the game against AL, lost that series, but they'll be damned if they're going to let that happen 2 days in a row.
And in the blink of an eye, Weibo goes from in BLG's base to in their own on the back foot. Breathe still has this GA. He's going in, but he slides out. He's waiting for this energy to come back up as big chunks have gone down onto Bin, onto Knight, onto Elk. The slow is there too. Breathe once more. He's got public execution up very soon, and if he lands it, it's bad news for BLG. He's got the Drake count step. You have to sidestep the ultimate. Who's he gonna go for? Bin can use his W to block it if he wants, but Breathe still pushing forward. In a 50-minute banger that's gonna be determined by an Elder Dragon as they've started it up. On is nowhere close to his team. He needs to get close. BLG are completely split off. Knockups on the back. They're going to try to burst out Crisp, and here comes Bin using his ultimate, trying to cut them down, but he misses the last one. Elk getting tagged up, but here is the engage. Shadow is in, but Breathe finds Elk. Elk's in trouble. He's down to the pit. Light is free hitting. He's up against Bin, and he gets it done, and he's going to res. That's a problem for BLG as Weibo take the Elder. They run the fight. They win the game.
Weibo destroy BLG in a 50-minute banger, Yanni. It is 95,000 gold that they've picked up, but Weibo got the soul at their backs. They get the Elder in the back half of this. And now, with the longest game of this split for Weibo, they will take game number 1, everybody.
It's always a banger in the LPL, boys, because this game is over. Nexus exposed, nobody up. GG Weibo Gaming.
Okay.